Hi guys, it's Jaco here. Very cold morning in Milan, very cold spirits at Tottenham. So today we're gonna talk as always about the game that we saw in the Premier League, but I feel like it's time to talk in general about Tottenham, about what's happening. Is this all Frank's fault? Are the players not good enough? What is going on at Tottenham in this moment? Because we are in a very tough position now, because a lot of losses in a row, a lot of bad results, and again, to talk about the game in the weekend, we lost at home again, because we have the worst home record in the league in the last maybe 20 games, that is almost 2 seasons, and we lost again against Fulham. Not exactly a top team, not exactly a team that was unplayable, because against PSG against PSG I didn't do any reaction, but of course PSG is on another level, Arsenal is on another level, Chelsea is on another level. But then we play Fulham and we are not able to take 3 points from that game. That is very worrying, because next game is going to be Newcastle away, and I wonder how we will survive to that, and how Frank will survive to that. So talking about the game, I don't know how much there is to talk, guys. You saw the game yourself. We started the first minute also a little bit aggressive. I was happy about the starting 11 and everything. I was looking forward for the game. So we start quite pressing high, and then 1 minute and a half into the game, Danso completely alone with a very easy ball to manage, is able to give the ball and the possession to them, starting a transition that in the end up with a goal thanks to a Destiny Udogie deflection. I'm gonna blame to that goal just Danso. Don't care. Even Pedro Porro could have done better in the 1-against-1. He was horrendous, Pedro Porro, in this game, but we're gonna talk about it later. But on that goal, it's impossible to have a very easy high ball to manage, and because you are so technically shit, and sorry for the language, so technically bad, you are not able to control the ball, you are not able to direct the ball towards your player, but to direct the ball towards their players. And this happened at least 4 or 5 times. In that case, we got caught up, and that is a huge problem that I have with Kevin Danso. I don't want to see Kevin Danso in the starting 11. I don't feel like Kevin Danso will ever be good enough. His technical abilities are just too low. His mobility is not good enough. So we start the game 1 minute and a half and we already are 1-0 down. Very bad. The worst is yet to come, because just 4 minutes after, in the 6th minute, Vicario decided to go out, and then I don't know how, I don't know why, with the ball playing abilities that he have, that are not good as we know, he decided to play a break line pass with the left foot in the middle of the pitch without him in goal, because he was getting out, of course, of his box. What is the result? That pass came again exactly to the feet of a Fulham player, that land the ball to Wilson, that with his technical abilities that we know is able to score very easily. And we go 6 minutes, 2-0 down. There is nothing more to say. 6 minutes, Fulham didn't do anything, didn't create anything. We gave them 2 goals. Okay, so the game started with a 2-0 deficit. Also, on the Vicario goal, I still don't understand why no one went into the line goal to protect the fact that the keeper went out. I still don't understand it, but I don't understand a lot of things about this team anymore, and we're gonna talk about it very soon. So this is a little bit the beginning of the game. After this incredibly comical, tragical start, of course the team wasn't able to really create anything. I feel like people forget that football is a mental sport, is a psychological sport, is an emotional sport, and the emotions after that start of the game were at the lowest. and we weren't just able to create. And I'm not even too mad about the players in general. Like, I don't feel like, and we're gonna go especially in this video about that, I don't feel like they are incredibly good. They tried though to stay in the game, they tried to have a reaction. The first half wasn't the one that we wanted to see. The reaction wasn't really clear because we didn't shoot, but at least we were able to stay in the game, because after we conceded the second, we could have conceded also the third and the fourth very easily. So we got away in the first half with just a 2-0 deficit after that disastrous start. The first half was very uninspiring and not a lot of shots, but that's something that with Thomas Frank we should be able to understand, why he prioritized high chance shots than numbers of shots. So the shots weren't there, and we go to the second half. The second half much better. The team reset a little bit the mentality. They go with a fresh mentality into the pitch, and we were able to dominate Fulham. And we scored also the 2-1 with Kudus, very good goal from Kudus, and good minutes in the second half from Kudus. I wasn't a fan, so much of a fan of his performance in general, but in the second half he had at least 10-15 minutes where he was really on the game. So second half we tried, we pushed very hard. I wanted to give a word of positivity to Randal Kolomani, because I think that Randal Kolomani in this moment is our best player, is our most reliable player, is our most experienced player, is the player with the most talent, is the player with the most quality, and is the player that excites me the most. During the game he had at least 2 chances where he could have scored, and he created by himself basically a chance where with the back heel he was almost scoring a great goal of a lot of different characteristics, because in that goal I loved the aggression that he had, the way, the drive that he had during the game. I thought that he was different, he was moving different, he was doing things on another level than the rest of our team. Other than him, I don't see too many positives out of the game. I said a few minutes from Kudus, Randal Kolomani. Van de Ven is always, of course, a top player, and no one is saying other things, but very negative. Very negative, and I'm gonna start saying I'm not Frank out, and I don't think like I will ever be Frank out. Like, we can lose 20 games in a row, I won't be Frank out in this moment. Not because I'm a huge fan of Frank, okay? Not because I'm a huge fan of Frank. It's more about the fact that I don't feel like anymore these players are good enough. It's been 2 years, okay? 2 years. Ange Postecoglou, central progression, we never cross, and they were not good enough. Now, different type of systems, different type of styles, we try to cross, we're not good enough. There is nothing that makes me think that we change the manager and we improve, because I have zero evidence that there is another style of football that can work post-Kane. Post-Kane, this team has been just absolutely average, just absolutely mid-table. That's the reality that I came. At this point, after the last season, I could have been a little bit more deluded and say, okay, maybe it's Ange Postecoglou, it's all the fault of Ange. No, it's not, he wasn't. He wasn't. Maybe he had his share of responsibilities, but it wasn't his fault. And now I'm not deluded enough to think that a Xabi Alonso, a Xavi, and other managers can come to Tottenham and change the state of this team. No, they can't. So let's talk about the individual players. Pedro Porro, I feel like he's a top player. But what the hell was that? What the hell is this inconsistency? I can't call you a top player as much as I want if you're this inconsistent technically. And I don't understand why, because I believe that you are one of the best, if not the best in the league in terms of technical ability as a fullback. But it's not the first time that I see you messed up so many passes, so many crosses, so many decisions. It's becoming tiring, also from him. On the other side, Destiny Udogie. Don't know what I was watching. Seriously, Destiny, if that's the level of Destiny Udogie, he's not good enough to start. I'm not saying that that's the level that he is really, but I repeat, we need continuity. We need top players, good players to perform constantly. If not, we are not improving. And yesterday I was really disappointed about Udogie. I think that was one of the worst technical performances I've ever seen from any player. Like, I don't remember one good touch, one good control, nothing from Destiny Udogie. Nothing. We played without our two fullbacks. Without them. It's that tactical? No, it's not. It's not tactical that Destiny can't control 20 times the ball properly. It's not tactical. Zero tactical stuff there. Then you go in midfield. And to close about Destiny, I'm a huge fan of Destiny. I'm an Italian guy. I wish that Destiny becomes the player that I think that he can become. It's because he will improve Tottenham, he will improve the Italian national team, he will improve a lot of things. But I need to see it. I'm coming to a point where I'm becoming a villain towards this player. I don't have patience anymore. You need to show me. 2019, 22, 23, you need to show it. We have no time to waste. And it was a waste of time against Fulham. And Destiny Udogie took a little bit the piece. And I repeat, the injury was not a long time ago, so he might need time to come back to his best level. But if he drop other times a performance like that, he should be dropped. Destiny Udogie should be dropped, because that's a very low level of performance. And I'm someone that gave a lot of stick to Spence, for example. That is even worse, that certain performance of Spence. So I'm gonna be real here in this video. Palhinha, we know, not good enough on the ball. I still believe that he's a very important player for our stability, for the fact that we are already not very good offensively. If we also gave away the defensive side, it's going to be a very long season, and I feel like Palhinha would be useful. But against Fulham, he wasn't really helping us too much. But I believe that it wasn't his role, his main role to build, to be the technical guy, to be the presence in midfield that you rely on possession, but it's more about the defensive side. So I'm more critical now about the two teenagers that we played beside Palhinha. And people will take it very wrong, because there is this conception that you can't be harsh on teenagers, because they are teenagers and they need time. We're not the academy. We are the first team football of Tottenham Hotspur. So results are the things that matters. Performances are the things that matters. If I need just to develop young players, I will go them to the academy, or I will lower our expectation to not being able to compete anytime in the Premier League. But our objective is to of course, to compete in the Premier League. Our objective is to go to Europe even this season. And the performances that I saw from Verbal and Gray against Fulham are not performances that I believe someone can take us to Europe. And I was very disappointed, especially with Archie Gray. I feel like he was too shy, hiding from the ball. When he received the ball, he was a little bit too chaotic, in terms of too frenetic, not chaotic, because he's a calm player, but he was a little bit too frenetic with the ball, trying to give back the ball to the centre backs, trying to give back the ball to Palhinha as soon as he got it. Never really drive the ball forward, never really took a decision with his passes forward. And that is the problem that I have constantly with Archie Gray, especially when we need to play against teams that drop a little bit back, that give us a little bit more the possession. Archie Gray in this moment shine in transitional football, where he can run, because he have a lot of explosive power in his runs. He's a good player in terms of decision making in transition, but on the ball in possession, he's not giving us enough. Like against Fulham, he was basically a ghost. If he played or he didn't play, there is no much difference, to be fair, against Fulham. And with this, I'm not saying, of course, that we should give up on Gray. I feel like we need also to stop overrating our young players, and myself included, because the level of the Premier League is completely different. The level of the top talents that you see in Europe is different, and I feel like we have good talent no one ready to really improve us in the moment. And Verbal and Gray are the proof of it, because I repeat, I'm being very harsh here, but Archie Gray wasn't good enough. Lucas Verbal for 90% of the game wasn't good enough, and again with Lucas Verbal is a different thing than Archie Gray. I feel like Archie Gray is more about his personality. He's hiding a little bit more, he's a little bit too nervous when he plays in the Premier League. Then Verbal is not nervous, he has a very good personality, he wants the ball a lot of time, he demands the ball a lot of time. The problem with Verbal is strange to say, but it's his technical level. Like, he's a good technical player, but he's also not a good technical player at the same time. So it's very tough, for example, if you make a scouting report from Verbal when he was playing in Sweden, to understand all these little details. But now I'm seeing them a lot more, and with continuity, you know, because Lucas Verbal is a player that is brilliant on the half turn, looks very good on the eye, but in reality, in terms of effectiveness, he lacks a lot. He lacks a lot. You saw against Fulham a lot of bad passes, a lot of bad touches, a lot of bad controls. And I'm not just taking Fulham as an example, but I can give you at least 10 examples of games when Verbal was really, really inconsistent technically, where the simple stuff were not able to be done as they should. And sometimes he gives you that brilliant stuff, that brilliant pass, that brilliant run, but he's not consistent enough of the easy things, the easy passes. He messed up too many of them, and messing up an easy pass means that the opposition team will have an easy transition, and it's not the first time that Verbal does it. And in the game he still had some 10-15 very good minutes where he had a very good switch of play. He had the assist, of course, for Mohamed Kudus, but again, not enough to really make me say, oh, these two young players are the one that needs to start every single game. Don't see it. I really don't see it. They can start like they can't start, because in midfield we don't have top players. We don't have anyone that can make the difference, anyone that have the X factor, anyone that can really change the game for you. No one, not even the youngster, as everyone think. There is also Sar that came from the bench in midfield. Again, even Sar, not good enough for me, especially technically. He's just a mess. It's just a complete mess when he's on the ball. And he have a lot of qualities, running without the ball, running power into the box, also somehow the best scorer that we have in midfield, so he's a useful player. He's not good enough to play and to dictate the tempo and to take on his shoulders the weight of the midfield. Same stuff for Bentancur. Bentancur come on the pitch, he's not giving you anything different. Like, he's a little bit more defined technically, a little bit better technically than the rest of Bentancur. But again, he's too careless on the ball. His decision making is not good enough. He's not constant. You don't know what to expect from him. He lose easy the ball in very tough situations, giving easy transition also himself. Like, we are just a messy midfield, and I don't know anymore what to think. I don't know anymore what to expect. And even when Xavi Simons came into the pitch, and again he didn't start, you can say whatever you want, he had 30 minutes of time to impact the game when you are 2-1 down, just scored the 2-1, so the momentum is on your side, and he's not able to do nothing. No creativity, no creative pass, no big chance created, no shots on goal, nothing. I see the qualities. I feel like he's a quality player. I'm asking myself if he was really worth it, 60 million in the end, because he needs to wake up. And I'm seeing also Wirtz struggling, but I'm seeing a little bit more in Wirtz, you know. I'm seeing those special touches, I'm seeing those special things in Wirtz. I'm yet to see it in Xavi Simons. I have to be 100% sure with you, 100% real with you. Then Kudus, we already talked about it. Good 10-15 minutes. The rest of the game, even himself, very messy on the ball. He is someone that refuses a lot of time to make some passes. He's someone that thrives into the 1-against-1 situations. But I'm not too mad about Kudus, because he's a player that I like, and he's a player that I think is good enough for Tottenham for sure. Randall Colomwani, we said, for me, best player on the pitch. And then you have Richarlison, that is Richarlison, a player that technically is very limited, a player that if you don't feed him enough with crosses in that position is a little bit useless, and with Pedro Porro being absolutely awful in terms of crosses, basically Richarlison was useless, because as a winger you just need him in terms of aerial duels and finishing, because the rest of the game we know that Richarlison lacks it too much. So in the end, the conclusion, what it is that if you are Frank out, fair. I'm not agreeing with you, but I'm not saying that you're crazy, because football is a sport based on result. I'm just saying that if you are Frank out and you think that the next manager will come here and change completely the situation at Tottenham and make us a competitive team, you're absolutely deluded. This team just needs one thing: 2 transfer window, even 4 transfer window, but at least other 2 transfer window, to get out certain players, to bring in finally some players that can improve the starting 11, and maybe we can start to compete. There is no other way in my eyes after watching 2 years and more than 80 games of this team. Last season we finished 17th with 22 losses. We won the Europa League, wonderful. One of the lowest level of Europa League I've ever seen. We finished in semi-final against Bodo Glimt and in the final against the 16th place Manchester United. So let's not talk about how good we are because we won the Europa League. We won the Europa League, that doesn't mean that we are good at all. So it's been 2 years with the same players that we get the same results, more or less. Bad football, managers that looks clueless. I'm tired of it. I want to give the players the responsibilities, and even the young one, because if you're old enough to play for the first team, you're old enough to take responsibilities. That's the level of football that we are in this moment, and that's how every top club works. So instead of always saying that Frank is at fault, because the players are playing bad because of him, let's try to analyze and try to understand why the players are really playing bad. Because they don't have enough technical abilities, they don't have enough quality in tough moments of the game. We crumble every time. Mentally we're weak, we don't have leaders, we don't have anything, we don't have a superstar. This is a team that is a mid-table team, and the mid-table team can lose against anyone, can win against anyone on their day, but most importantly can lose against anyone. So I'm also tired of the fact that everyone say, oh, but are we worse than Fulham, so we shouldn't expect to win? No, we are not much better. We are not so much better that you can expect us to absolutely go and win full stop against Fulham. We are a mid-table quality in terms of players in this moment, so we can lose against anyone, because we are not drastically better than anyone in this league. So this is the sad reality of Tottenham. There is still time to improve. Kulusevski, Maddison needs to come back, and they will improve a lot of the team and upgrade a lot of the team. I'm talking about right here, right now. I have no confidence against Newcastle, and unfortunately I think that on the long run the one that will end up getting sacked will be Frank, but the players that will be still here are the same that are making us struggle so much in this period. So a little bit more of a longer video, but that is a little bit what I think about Tottenham in this moment. I hope that you enjoyed this chat, and see you the next time. Have a very good day.